Hello guys and welcome to Starcraft 2, and today we are going to be doing the one and final tutorial for Starcraft 2, which I've been putting up. I've done the toss, the turn, and now, which is my favorite race, ZERG, which is the race I play online. You can see my awesome ZERG screen picture, yeah. And so ZERG is a very economy-oriented race, I would think, or sorry, I would say. And so let's start off with the basics here. First, you have overlords, which, like every other race, you have supply. Overlords are your supply, but the best thing about them is they can be used as scouting information mainly, because they are able to move. Now, your main base is called hatchery, and your miners are called drones. The cool thing about ZERG is they can make multiple units at once, even starting at the earliest of earliest games. Because what ZERG runs by is larva. Now, larva works, well, the hatchery disperses larva, which then you can turn into any unit that you want. Your whole army comes from larva, which is true. Just wanted to say that. So, I'm just going to be making drones for now. I explain. Now, the maximum a normal hatchery can get is 3 larvae that can come out at max. Now, to increase it, you have to get the first basic thing, which I will be getting relatively soon. And then you can get queen, which is this thing right here. It says a birth queen. Now, those they have ability, like energy, like how ghosts use energy to cloak and blah blah blah. They use energy to spit on the hatcheries, and they after like 30 or 15 seconds, they produce lots of larvae. Now, if you have all your hatcheries linked up together, you can make tons of larvae, and you just keep stacking the larvae. Now, in order to make a first set of units, including birth queen, you have to make a spawning pool, which is BS for the hotkeys, and that will allow you. Actually, the spawning pool is unlike any race, because even though it allows you to get your first tier units, it also allows you to make units. Yeah, just make units. So it's very important that you keep it alive. Now, gas miners are called extractors, and you can see that my overlord's here, and we can go see what he is. Now, I'll be making overlord next, and we see he is a Terran, which I thought I had a hunch. Now, be careful with the overlords because they're slow. You can get a speed upgrade, but they are just like I feel like this one's gonna die. I think, which is gonna be my hunch. Oh no, he lives. They do have lots of health though, which is good. And now, once your spawning pool is done, you can create queen, which I will be making at both hatcheries. And queens are because ZERG has a very slow air defense. Like their air defense is a very low. It takes a long time to get a relatively good air defense. So queens are your best bet for early air attacks and spore crawlers from evolution chambers. But now, once you also got the spawning pool, you can make zerglings. Now, these little guys are, even though they're the first tier, like, this is the part where people start thinking first tier is like bad and stuff. They are really good, not to lie. Now, once you got the queens, they'll start with enough energy, and you go spawn larvae, and you click on the hatchery, and that would start making larvae, which I think it 25 seconds. No, 40 seconds. Now, one of the most important upgrades to get for ZERG, which, depending what build you're following, is would be speed upgrades. And my friend is online. Would be speed upgrades for ZERG, because as ZERG you want to be a very mobile race. Now these are the Zerglings. They are really quick. Now they can be quicker if you purchase the metabolic boost from the spawning pool, which pretty much thanks, friend. You just made me lose my mind. Okay. Okay, yeah. It allows them. It gives them extra speed, which I think that's what I was talking about. It gives them, yeah, it just increases the speed. And yeah. So once it's done, you'll see now that I have 8 larvae. So yeah. So now there's also another ability. There's 3 abilities the queens have. One is transfuse, and because every ZERG unit is biological, they can transfuse gives them extra health. And then spread a creep tumor allows them to spread this purple stuff along the map. Now, let me explain to you why queens are so good. One, imagine these are turrets for ZERG. I'll show you in a second. And what you just get those turrets once you get a spawning pool. And these turrets, if they're attacking, say all these Zerglings died and stuff, and now my upgrade finished, and now they are a lot more quicker, as you can see. And ZERG units are quicker on the purple stuff, which is creep. And so imagine that you're having issues and you're being attacked and all your Zergs are dead, all your Zerglings. You could transfuse this, like, here, let me show you. I'll have them attack it, and when it starts getting low health, you could transfuse it. Now, that was a really bad demonstration, because they just went to attack me, but so it was bad timing. So now that you're starting to, now it's good. Now that you're starting to do that, inject larvae and stuff, I got a 3rd queen. You don't really need 3rd queens unless you're planning on spreading creep or for air defense. Now, if you hit C while on the queen, you can disperse a creep tumor. Now, you will probably notice what happens as time goes on. Now, once you got a spawning pool, you can make these turrets, which are called spine cars. The hotkey is BC, like the province, because I am Canadian, eh? So I'll drop, and now you can see the creep is starting to spread. It's starting to increase in length and stuff. So yeah. So that's what creep tumors do, and it's really smart to do that because it's in late game. You always want to have good creep spread. Reason why is because using creep spread, you can see anything on the creep. Like if you have creep all the way down here, just random creep, like you have an overlord pooping out creep, then you use that, and you can see if any units pass on it, if your enemy is passing by, any of those stuff you can see while on the creep. So that's really important that you remember that. Now, where'd my creep queen go? Okay. Now, the next tier, the next thing you can get is a baneling nest. Now, ZERG units, they're very interesting because they can some of the units can morph into other units that will like increase like that will turn them into different units. And I'll show you in a second about banelings, which banelings are a suicidal unit, and that sounds kind of stupid, but trust me, you'll understand it as we go on. So I'm getting another hatchery in my main, which you might question, but that's because it's a macro hatchery, meaning I can get another queen, and that will allow me to just get me more larvae for units. Now, okay, now that my baneling nest is done, let me show you what it'll do. If you go on to Zergling, select a bit, and then you just spam E, you'll turn them into banelings, and I'll show you what they look like when they pop. Now, banelings are used against clumps of units, they're really good like against marines and other zerglings and etc. So for example, I will put them, I'll rally them right there. Now, the next unit you could get, and this is all first tier units, remember this, and they all can't attack air, remember that too, is a Roach Warren. Now roaches are far my favorite Zerg unit because roaches are pretty boss, I would have to say, to be totally honest, because yeah, that's what roaches are, they're boss. Now let me show you if I can get a decent hit on them. When they interact with stuff, they explode. Now I have a feeling he'll have a siege tank up there. No. Okay, so let me show you what happens. See how it exploded? Now it didn't work really good against the marauders because marauders are have lots of health and they're pretty immune to banelings. But that's okay. I got the demonstration out there. Now once you got the Roach Warren, roaches are a special type of unit that they are really good. Just basically really good against early pressure and even late game. Not really against Toss, but versus Terran I think I would say they're quite good. But you don't really want them in late game. You kind of want higher tier units like Infestors, which I will show you later. Now these are roaches, and they have like an acid attack, or they like spew acid at it, like I'm showing. Now I'm going to expand once more, and as Zerg in late game, you kind of want to have lots of spine crawlers for defense. But it's also good to have good creep spread, as I said, because it's important to see your enemies. Now, the thing about Zerg is all three tiers are very easy to know what tier they are, because in order to get the second page, excuse me, you have to click on a hatchery and make it into a layer. Now you can turn it into a layer once you have a spawning pool. I wouldn't recommend an early layer because it's not as beneficial. I think it's better to have a better army first. I can leave that tower. And once you have the spawning pool, you can also create a evolution chamber. And like a forge and eBay, which one of my favorite casters, Day 9, calls them. And probably other casters, please, I don't know. Calls them. Their engineering base, which I showed you in the Terran tutorial. I'm just gonna mass up on drones so I can, yeah, so they upgrade. Now, like, each race, they have a different upgrading type, so they upgrade a little differently. Like, now, this upgrades the melee, range, and armor. Right now, I'm just going to upgrade melee and armor. Now, like all races, it can be upgraded to a maximum of 3, which is totally normal. And I need to go drop a creep in there, if I can. There we go. So, yeah, so now that you have your layer done, you have a whole wide variety now of units on the second page. You can make a Hydra Den, And you can make an infestation pit, a spire, which is where you get air, and a nidus network. Now, I will explain all of these units once they're done. Because it is quite important that you do know these units. Now, I do need to put those on a hotkey and rally them all there and there. Yes. Okay, now, infestation pit. Here, I'll go along as they spawn. These are all, okay. Hydra Den. This is where you get Hydralisks, which is pretty self-explanatory, and I'll make some right now. Now, at it, you can upgrade their range, and blah blah blah. Now, also, once you have a lair, you can also open up upgrades, like Baneling Speed, which, I'll morph some Banelings, and, put them over there, and I'll show you their speed. You can increase Roach Speed, and all these upgrades are actually really good, like speed. ZERG really wants to be ZERG is a mobile race. You want to have the best access to other places as quickly as you can. Now, an infestation pit allows you to... Now, it might take me a while to get over all this, so just remember that, because I just spawned all of it at once. I'm just gonna wait for these upgrades to finish. Mutation. There we go. Infestation pit. Now, Hydras should be out. Here's the Hydras. Now, they do attack ground and air, and they're anti-air, which is, which hopefully you understand what that means. Now, I should be able to hold this off. Now, you should see in a second. I'm actually just gonna, once that finishes. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Not the Creep Queen. Oh no. I have to remake the Creep Queen. Now, except I don't think they have any upgrades. Uh-oh. That's not good. Now you can see it's upgrade, now they roll. Like, yeah. So I'm just gonna back away. And I go to it right now. And you can see those Marines pretty, melted. Now, yeah, so... I need to get my roaches back. Because, some of these units have a very unique attribute. Which is, they, okay, so, infestors, main thing you want to, before you get infestors, because they cost lots of gas, they're a spellcaster, you really, want to get, pathogen glands, because, that makes them spawn with more energy, which will allow them to do an ability that is very, very helpful. Like, if you don't get it, it could lose you games. Like, I've lost games because I haven't got the upgrade, but that was before I was bad. Oh, yeah, snap. Yeah, so I'll explain to you what infestors are after that upgrade finishes. Now, Spire is where you can start with, when you get it, you can get 2 more units from your hatcheries. You can get a Muta, which I'll spawn a couple, and a Corruptor, which I'll spawn a couple. And, oh. Now, also, I'm trying to cover all of this at once. A layer is, it also grants the ability to make a detector. Like, all races have detectors, as you should all know. They can all detect stuff and blah blah blah. And the detector for ZERG is called an Overseer. And I'll just morph them into Banelings. And if you hit V on an Overlord, you don't lose the supply, but starts morphing into an Overseer, which will allow you to see invisible stuff, like ghosts. And yeah. Now, these are mutas. They can attack ground and air, like so, and like so. They are quite good clumped up, but be careful with infestors because they can kill like 30 mutas easily. Not because infestors or mutas are bad, just because of the upgrade it has. Now, I'll just... Alright, now I will spawn infestors. Now, they're very gas heavy. Like, just remember, they are extreme. And also from the Spire, you upgrade their attack and armor. Now, next, also, now you can upgrade stuff from the hatcheries. Burrow allows them to, Burrow allows all units to go underground. And they can't attack while underground, but your enemy doesn't see them. Your enemy can't see them unless they have a detector. And some,
Our forces are under attack.
Not my creep queen again. There. See? It's always good to have speed upgrades because you want to have your army very disposable. And you can see, because I'm trying to get out all the units in the game. Alright, now these are infestors. Now, I should have used them on that. That's too bad. For the next attack, I'll show you. Now, once you got Burrow, first get for roaches, upgrade while getting Burrow, upgrade the tunneling claws. That will allow roaches while they're underground. They can move. They can't attack, but they can move. So say you're being attacked. Say you got attacked and you need to retreat. Except so you could burrow and then get it all back and stuff. Now that I've got burrow, let me show you what it does. Now, infestors automatically come with burrow move. So if you hit R. They go underground. That can do with any ground unit of the ZERG force. Like, they will drones, anything. Literally, I'm not kidding. And yeah. So no air though. So now units like the infestor and the roach, if you right-click while they're burrowed, they will move. Now your enemy can't see it unless they have a detector, like I said before. So that's really important to remember, that they can't see it unless they have a detector. And, yeah, that's pretty much one of the most main parts. Now, I believe my upgrade finished for the roaches. No, it hasn't. Soon. Now, also from the infestors, you can upgrade Neuroparasite. That will allow them for, 1 second. For infestors it allows them to control any unit, massive or tiny, a little zergling to a giant mothership from the Protoss. You can control any of those, but only for 15 seconds, and they don't move while they're being controlled. I'll have to explain it to you next time they attack. I'll also explain the fungals. Now, the infestors, they don't attack, except the fungals, what they do is they add tons of damage. They immobilize the target, allowing it not to move, and the fungals, and they do 40 versus armored, and they immobilize them for 4 seconds and damaging them, causing 30 damage. And you could also do it to an invisible unit like a Dark Templar or any of that, because that will show if you hit it in the right spot. Because if I click on one of them, you'll see that I hit F, which is the key. It has an area of effect, AoE. Yeah, so I don't want to know. Actually, here, let me show you. Let me show you what you can. Never mind. Yeah. So now, once you have your infestation pit, you can make the 3rd tier, which is a hive. Now, the roach upgrade is done. Okay. Now, Okay, perfect. Perfect. Now I can show you what the fungals do.
Is under attack.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fungal them and control, and I'll show you what infested terrans do. See, it stops them from moving, and you can control them, and they will start attacking other units. And I'm controlling them right now, and you can see, even though they don't attack, you can see that they did really good. Now, of course, they died, so that's okay. Now I'll just attack. See, now they're retreating. Now I'll have to show you. I'll have to get a couple infestors to show you their first upgrade, which I just showed you. Now, once the roach upgrade is done, they can move underground and yada yada yada. Now, as I'm upgrading my hive, that will allow me to get broodlords, which are crazily good, and ultralisks. Now, a nidus worm, which I've been trying to review for a while now, it allows you to spawn these worms around the map, and they're kind of like medivacs, where you can run your units into them, which I'll show you in a second, and they have a giant supply, so you can run as many units as you want into them. And what they do is they allow you to disperse all these units. And now it's really you could say, for example, you could run like C right beside a base, drop a nice there, and if they don't see it, which they probably would because they have vision right here, but a bear spot would be like here or there, and that will allow you to do that, and it allows them to be more mobile. My infestors did spawn, I know. Here they are. Now, if you hit T while holding the infestors, you can drop infested terrans, which they last for, I think, 15 seconds, and they are infested terrans. And what they do is they can attack. Best part about them is all they do is cost energy, nothing else, no strings attached. Now, once you've got the hive, you can upgrade your armor and all that to its full potential. You can also upgrade the zergling attack speed once you got the hive. And you can see my mineral fields are being depleted. So I will need to make another hatchery right here. Perfect. And okay. Yeah, so queens are, you don't want to get a lot of queens though, just be warned, and remember that. Okay, now once you got your hive, you can create a greater spire, which it takes 100 seconds, and that will allow you to get broodlords from corruptors right here. Now I'll just get a couple more, and broodlords cost a lot of gas. Remember that, they cost like so much gas. They just cost lots of gas. No, here's another attack. Where's my creep queen? And they have a raven to get rid of all the creep. Now, I can easily deal with this if I do it right. I don't allow them to retreat, and because they only have 1/1 upgrades. Yeah. So I'll just finish him off. There. You can see, got one of those. There you go. Now, I'm trying to think. Now, once you got the hive, you got the greater spire, which will allow you to get broodlords, and you got the ultralisk cavern, which, how did I select two? If you hit VU, you can get an ultras, and ultras are really, they're fun to hug people with, I would say, because what happens is they have these giant claws. They're a melee unit, and they literally chop them to death with these giant claws, and it's really fun to watch. I think so. Now, yeah, okay, the greater spider's done, and I can show you what that does. Once you got the greater spider, if you click on your corruptors, now corruptors are anti-air. They aren't the best against void rays. Actually, they're really bad against void rays. But they're really good against pretty much everything else. And they only attack air. Now, broodlords are a massive unit, and they can only attack ground. Except they are really good. Now, I'll just morph all of them into broodlords, and it does take a bit out of your gas. Now, once you got the Ultra Cavern up, you can see how cool it looks with the giant mouth there. You can research chitinous plating, which will allows. Now, I'll just spawn a couple ultras, and that allows you to upgrade the armor of an ultra by up to a maximum of 4 once you got the 3-3, which will 3-3 upgrade, and then plus 1 more armor, which will give you 4 max. And yeah, so what else am I missing? Oh yeah, I can't believe I forgot this. Once you got your evolution chamber down, I should have told you this a long time ago. You can I'll do it here. BA, and that will allow you to drop anti-air turrets, which are also called spore crawlers. Now, the interesting thing about ZERG is that they can, with their turrets, like spine crawlers and spore crawlers, you can lift up and plant them somewhere else. Now, these are my ultra friends, and you can see that the get +2 armor. You can see right now they have 3 armor, and this is what ultras look like. And now you can see chop them. Now ultras and broodlords. These are the massive units of ZERG. These are the massive units that you get. Now broodlords, this is what they do. They go up to units and they disperse these broodlings, which you'll see them all fly out about now. And they have a high range, so they can take out turrets. And these broodlings, they just keep firing them. They just keep firing them. So you can see my my Ultralisk armor is done, and now they have 5 armor, which is really good. Now I need to get one of everything so I can do a demonstration. Now, each time you make an Ultra, it does cost some stuff. Now, let me show you how good Broodlords and Ultralisks are.
The hive cluster is under attack.
I'll actually, this will be the Broodlord, these guys' job. Watch how they just leave them alone. Now, they are melee units, but man, they are worth it. Their total damage is, full upgrades, a normal of 19, 43 versus armored, which is really good. Now, when you make a Broodlord, it does cost, supply, so just remember that. Now, oh yeah, I don't want to forget anything. Also, at once you got a layer, the upgrades are unlocked like this. All your hatcheries, if you have at least 1 layer, all your hatcheries will be unlocked of the research, even if they're lower tier, like just a layer, or sorry, a hatchery. And these are layers. Or no, this is hive. Then if you turn this in, this will be a layer, and this is a hatchery. Hatchery is first tier, layer second, and hive is third. And so yeah, so now if you can research, increase the speed of overlords and allow overlords to pick up and drop units, which is very helpful. Now, because I feel like I think that's the end of the tutorial, I'll just show you the power of these ZERG forests. Now, this is a really pitiful army, not because It's good. Like, it's a really good army with the upgrades and all, but it's really sad. Like, the composition, I have, like, one of every unit. Now, let's see how quickly this dies. Now, I got the 1-2 upgrade on, the Greater Spire. And, yeah, so I think I'm good on upgrades. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, wait. With, guys, with your overlords, if you hit G, well, just normal overlords, they'll start spewing out creep and they'll start to spread. Like, here, let me show you. Now, the upgrade did finish, so you will see them. They are faster. See? They are now 1.8 speed. So now, if I go to like a random barren spot and I start hitting G, they'll start spewing up creep and it'll start spreading and blah blah blah. So now let's try taking out this. See how quick? 2,000 health? No problem. So let's see what we can do. Alright. We'll just march right in here. Just say hi. I think we won't actually lose one unit. Now. Oh, actually we might. No. And you can see they're saying GG, but I'll say no. And what I'm going to do is I'll just let the Broodlords finish it because I want to show you. Broodlords are really good against almost everything, and the reason why is because they have such a long range. Their range is the range of 9.5. And even though they can only attack ground, watch how easily this gets torn apart. Now I will have to see if he's stupid enough to land. And you can just see how it just gets torn apart after part. And mass broodlord, like this is only this amount of broodlords. Well, some of the pros get up to like 25. I've been trying to do that. They do that against toss mainly, not reverse turn, but it still works. So I'll just go near a parasite that make them land and that. Yeah, so but you have to be careful in versus toss. If they vortex your broodlords, and they do an archon toilet or any of that, you're pretty much screwed for your broodlords. Like you do not. The one thing you don't want to do is lose your broodlords. Yeah, so now I can show you. Now I want to see if he expanded. Oh no, he didn't because it just said. So I believe he has no army now. So that is the tutorial for ZERG. Hope you enjoyed. I don't care if you did. Yep. So.